Okay, you got. All right, you guys, I am so sorry. I don't know what happened. It just I looked up and the screen was blank. Sometimes if I get a phone call and I'm going live, it will do that to me. So I apologize. I need to figure out how to make it so my screen doesn't go blank. I am so sorry. If you are joining me on playback, I have part one. It's the Creativation with Tim Holtz, something like that, in goodies or something like that in the title. I am really sorry that that happened. I hope it doesn't happen again. So anyway, I don't know where this cut off at, but right now I am laying out the grid, the sticky grid from physics onto the title onto the grid. And I'm making sure that I'm going backwards with my spelling as to make sure I get a good, I don't spell it wrong on my paper, because when I flip it over, that's what's going to happen. I've never used this before. New product to me. So anyway, there we go. And I forgot to add my hashtag, so I had to move it all down. So I'm going to add my hashtag right here. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my Cuttlebug ready. And you can use these Thinlit dies on your Cuttlebug or on your Sidekick. They're really easy to use it universally. So I'm going to put my cutting plate down first. I'm going to take this. I think I'm going to keep the bottom piece because I'm pretty sure I can reuse this little sheet of paper. And I'm just going to flip it over and place it on my tag like so. And then from here, I'm going to run it through my machine. And if, knock on wood, everything works, I should have a title cut into my stamp, my tag. Now I'm paranoid and I keep looking up because I don't want to lose you guys again. I don't know what happened. All right, so I'm going to run that through once. My Cuttlebug's a little old, so my pressure isn't always so good, so I run it through a few times. And again, I did get the big shot for Christmas. I just haven't played with it yet. My whole craft room was under demolition, so I just have moved back in recently. All right, so let's see how this worked out. All right. Look like it went through. And oh my, barely. Look at that. I didn't have to remove that word at all. So if you wanted to do a mass die cutting with this, this works because it keeps the word on in the right placement. It didn't move at all. That's awesome. And it comes right off your tag like perfectly. That is, I'm impressed, you guys. That's pretty stinking cool. All right, so from here, I want to go ahead and add a few of the stamps, and then we'll get this tag done. And what I thought I would do is just take a blank craft cardstock and put the tag up like this so that the sentiment is right there. But I want to add the hand over here, and then I want to add the mustache maybe on this one. So I need to get a block to stamp with, which I have right by me. And I'm going to use the archival ink for this. So I'm going to use that black archival ink. Since this rubber mound stamp, cling foam already, you do not have to worry about stamping this on a foam sheet of paper, which has always been a little bit of a issue if you're used to using acrylics. So I'm going to use that cute little hand to stamp underneath here. And I don't know if this stamp set is new or not. I haven't seen it. That doesn't mean that it hasn't been out for a while. All right, so I'm going to do this right under here, like so. There's my cute little hand. Now, if I was using my platform, I would go over that one more time, but that's okay. That's kind of cute. And now I'm going to use my mustache. I'll clean this later. For this one. And I was just going to put, actually, you know what? For this one, why don't I go ahead and just do a little bit more distressing on this, and then I'll do some stamped images all over it. I think that'll be cute. Because I'm going to attach that tag, but I'm going to make it movable. So I'm just going to go in with the same colors that I used. And like this antique linen, that's not really going to, show up much, which is just fine. That's totally fine. And then let's do the vintage photo next. This one will be next, and then I will finish it off with walnut stain. So when you're doing it on the craft, since I'm working with browns, it's going to be as subtle, whereas this is more severe, which is exactly what I wanted because that one's on the top. That's my top one right there. So I'm going to do that, and then let me go in with some walnut stain. And then from there, I will stamp my images. And then I can go ahead and show you guys how that glaze works. I'll have to go pull it. It's right across the room from me if you guys want to see the glaze and see how to make your distress ink permanent. So now my purpose on this was to add a little bit of color, plus I want to go through and use my distress spray on it as well. So I'm going to go and and that's what gives it that really great dimension and texture. Just that was it. All right. So from here, I'm going to dry that. Again, I'm going to dry both sides. And let me go ahead and I want to do these stamps. I think it would be cute to have at least one of each on this bottom tag that's going to peek through the father. And then I can slip a brad through the top, and that will allow it to be one piece but also movable. So I'm just going to do some random placements of this stamp. And again, I'm using my archival on it so it won't move around. And then let me do, and again, this set is called Ringmaster. So I think it's a really fun masculine set, perfect for Father's Day. I'm just inking this up. And I will just start carrying this down on that way. And I think I'm due for another archival ink. I think that this one is getting a little dry, but that's all right. And then last but not least, I'll add that ticket to this whole thing. It's always fun when you're working with these to make sure that you stamp off of the tag. It just, I don't know, it just makes it look better, I think. All right, so let me go ahead and do this. This is the admit tag, and I didn't quite get all of it in here. There we go. So we will add that there. And I think that that's pretty much the only place I can add it, which is perfect. Let me go ahead and show you the beauty of that glaze. I'm going to go grab the glaze and show you how to apply it to make your distress ink permanent. I have it right over here. Or so I thought. I just moved my craft room. Oh, I know where it is. It's up here. Okay, so this is called Distress Micro Glaze. And it basically, it's Tim Holtz Micro Glaze water resistant sealer for distress inks, markers, stains, paints, and other and more on porous surfaces. So I'm going to apply sparingly over my artwork by rubbing it on the surface with my finger, and then I'm going to buff away any excess with a dry paper towel. And this will create a smudge resistant waterproof finish. I'm going to also test it afterwards and show you how well this works. So as you can see, it does fit that perfectly, but I noticed that when I use my sponge to pick it up, I just use too much of it. So I prefer to use my finger as to elongate the life of my product and get more out of it. But I'm just going to go ahead and just rub this in. I'm only going to do it, not going to do it to the bottom one, because really this one has a little bit more structure with those squares, and I want to keep that in mind. Okay, so I've just kind of rubbed this all over. Now it says to use a paper towel. I am actually just going to use my lint-free cloth that I have over here. I'm going to pick a dry spot and I'm just going to buff it off. And I'm being pretty careful on top of my letters that I die cut out as to not tear them. Okay, now let's see if it worked. All right, I'm going to just spray that. And it's beading. It's not even into the paper. It's totally bubbling. So it works. So that is how you can make your distress ink permanent. Just do exactly what I did with this distress glaze. Let's go ahead and finish this off by adding a brad to it to connect my top and my bottom. And that'll be ready to go and perfect to give for a gift. And I am just looking at my brads right now. You can also use a twine, or that would be really cute, a piece of twine, or a ribbon of some sort. A cord would be cute too. I just have these right by me, so we're gonna do this. And I would probably put this on a gift bag and then just have like the kids sign the bottom tag. Just to use it as kind of a fun, funky, gift tag, a card. All right, so there it is. That's the finished product, and made it with the fun new stuff I got at Creativation from Tim Holtz's Stampers Anonymous. And then, yeah, so that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this little tutorial. I really apologize for it going out halfway in the middle. I don't know what happened. I have to work on that. Thank you so much for your patience and for sticking with me. I would love to know how you guys use your stencils and distress ink and everything I used today. If you've seen this before, let me know. And I'm very impressed with grid paper. This is awesome. I mean, it's still holding. So you could definitely use this great for mass production of things. I'm Bets Golden. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and do so. Make sure that you join me I'm hoping to go live again at noon on Friday with another, with some more goodies I got from Creativation. This is so much fun for me to do because I can unpack and play with things before I unpack, and then I know that I've gotten to play with them because sometimes they just get lost in the craft room, and I can share with you guys in depth some of the fun things that I got. Well, all the fun things I got. Until next time, happy crafting!